Yo, what's up, everyone? Colt Schroeder here, aka the Buffalo Nerd, coming at you with this week's NFL top bets from the Nerd for Week 4 of NFL action. We went with a 2-2 split last week. Win some, you lose some. It was a tough week. I think betting all the way around was kind of a weird thing last week for people, but we're going to move on. We're into week 4. Got 4 options here for you that I think are very profitable opportunities that you should be looking at when you're betting this weekend. So make sure you take these into account before you lay the wager and put your cash down. So first up, we're going to go with the Dallas Cowboys -3 points over the Washington Commanders. Just right now, Washington, they're giving up about 400 yards of offense on average. I just feel like Dallas has the control on both sides of the ball here as far as the lines go. I think defensive line and offensive line, you're going to trend towards the Dallas Cowboys are playing better at both categories right now. Dallas is the home team here. This is a division that goes back and forth. I think most people were just waiting to see what Cooper Rush could do. And now that we've seen it, the Cowboys are coming into this covering their last 2. Washington's coming in not covering their last 2. I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Dallas Cowboys at home. I think Dallas has won 3 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. I think they're the better team. They're at home. Their offense looks a little more capable of making things happen. They have more options to get to than what I think Washington can be turned into one-dimensional right now. So go ahead and take Dallas -3. If you can get it a little lower than that or maybe even pay your way down, it might be worthwhile because this is a division game. They tend to be close, but this feels like something similar to what Philadelphia did to Washington last week where Dallas could get a little lead, control this game, and just work their way through the rest of it. Next up, we're going to go with the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to take them +3.5 points at the Colts. The Colts are coming off big win. Tennessee's coming off a much-needed win after getting destroyed, by the Bills on Monday Night Football. But when you really look at this, Tennessee's won 4 of the last 5 games in these meetings, and both of these teams are coming off wins. But realistically, I think you're talking about the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. They didn't change a ton, minus A.J. Brown and a couple other pieces. And this is a division game. These games tend to be close. If I'm going to get Tennessee at 3.5 point difference, I mean, it took the Colts making a pretty good comeback to come back against the Chiefs, and now you're coming up against a division. I'm going to go ahead and take Tennessee +3.5 at the Colts. This feels like too close to the game and or something that I do believe Tennessee is going to win. Next one, we're going to go with the Arizona Cardinals +1.5 at the Carolina Panthers. Typically I don't kind of like that whole West Coast, East Coast kind of movement and having to travel that far. But a little stat is 14-3-2 is what Cliff has been against the spread as a road dog. So that's 14-3-2. I mean, that's pretty good. And then you've got Rule on the other side of that, who's 1-7 as a home favorite. I think I'm going to just go ahead and take Arizona here. I do think they've got a good offense. It hasn't been that great. They're a desperate team. They can't afford to be losing games like this and falling lower and lower in their division. And that Carolina defense has been giving up quite a few passing yards, so I think there's definitely opportunity for Kyler to use his feet this week and actually move things around. And a lot of the stuff that's coming out of that Carolina camp this week is it feels like Matt Rule's losing the building a little bit. The wide receivers are being questioned. It feels a little sketchy. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Arizona +1.5 here. I think they need to win this game. Next one up, speaking of that division, it's the Monday Night Football game. We got the Los Angeles Rams, the defending world champions, +1.5 at San Francisco. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with the Rams in this one. I know that San Francisco has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. Division game, Jimmy G's second game back after kind of having the helm, but this will be his first full week of getting into the action. I think disruption is very capable with this Rams defense. If I'm going to take a side, I think the Rams offense is currently better top to bottom. And I think that the Rams have a better offensive line and defensive line kind of at this moment as far as what they could do. San Francisco is the number 1 defense in the league. The Rams are in the number 4 defense in the league. But I think if you look at what's been taking place, you put these two together, this is probably going to be a battle. And I'm just going to lean the Rams at +1.5 because I think they have a better quarterback, better probably wide receivers top to bottom, and kind of a little more movement in the right direction at this point in time. So that's going to do it for this week's 4 plays, the best bets for the nerd for week 4 of NFL action. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel down below there, giving me a follow, Colt@_Schroeder over at Twitter, or just anything at the Buffalo Nerd, anywhere you look, buffalonerd.com. You can find all the action over there as well. Appreciate you guys tuning into the new stuff we're putting out over here, and I hope you guys have a good week, win lots of money. Enjoy.